Last time we learned how to tween the heart and the burst circle, and this time I'm going to show you how to add particles to give it that extra flair. Right-click on the like button and scroll down to Effects, Particle System, and that's going to create this default particle system, but it comes with a lot of presets that we don't want. So if you go into like the 3D view, you can actually see that right now it's emitting in 3 dimensions, and we're just making like a 2-dimensional thing. So when it's in 3 dimensions, it's pretty hard to edit. So the first thing we want to do is scroll down to Shape right here under Emission, click on it to open it up, and under Shape, right now it says Cone. We're going to come down here to Circle, and now you can see it's emitting in the plane, which makes it a lot easier to edit. So I'll go back into 2D mode here. We want to change this radius to 0 so that they're all emitting from the same point, basically. And then under Mode, we're going to select Burst Spread. And right now it looks like they're all firing in a line, but that's because burst spread is meant to be used when multiple particles are emitting at the same time. And since they're emitting one by one, they're just going in a line. So let's change that. We're going to go under Emission, set rate over time to 0, and then instead we're going to add to this bursts list. And to do that, we're going to click the plus button, select 15 for the count, and then under cycles, we come down to infinite, and whoa, that's way too many particles. So we have to change the interval to something like 1 second. And now it'll just fire them once every 1 second. These are looking pretty fuzzy, and I like more defined particles. So we can scroll down to where it says texture sheet animation. That's 5 from the bottom. It can be hard to find some of these things in the big list of stuff for the particle system. So under mode, we're going to change it from grid to sprites, and then select where it says none object. We're going to select the default Unity knob, and all this extra stuff is just from like the Leantween demos. So you don't need to have it, but anyway, so this knob, and now we can see that for one thing, these are way too big, and for another thing, they're going out like way too far. So to change the how big they are, at least, we can go to size over lifetime, and again, that's a little hard to find. It's under color by speed and above size by speed, size over lifetime, and we just click this, and then we open this up by clicking here. And if you don't see anything, that's because your particle system curves editor might be minimized at the bottom, so you can just drag this up. And there are a bunch of defaults. You can see how they change what the particles look like. But we're going to select this one that sort of goes down like this. It's the third from the right. And then we can just drag this down, and voila, we have particles that start off really small, get a little bit bigger, and then come back down, and that's pretty much what we wanted. So we can just minimize this now, and we can now see that these particles are going out way too far. We want them to be like right around here when they finish their tweening and everything. So scroll back up to the top. We can set start lifetime to 0.5 and start speed to 2. I find that gives a pretty good range for what we want. And then it's looking pretty bland, so let's change the start color. And we can do that by going in here and just setting it to like one color. But I don't really like how this looks. I prefer the random color sort of look. So to do that, we can scroll over to this drop-down menu and select random color. And now, instead of just a color field, even though it looks the same, this is actually a gradient. And so we can click it to open up the gradient editor. And this is really useful to know about because you can use it in all sorts of things. But basically, these little tags are keys, and then it'll interpolate between the keys to get you all your colors. So if we set this one over here to a sort of red color, then we can see that it's reds and pinks and going all the way to white, and it's like an equal chance to sample from any of these points. So we want a rainbow, not just one color, so let's start adding more colors in here. I'll do like a yellow here, maybe more towards the orangish color since it's close to the red. And then we can select green here. And the hues that you select for this are going to change a lot what your particles look like, so feel free to play around. I'm going for sort of like a candy colored look. And then we'll do like a blue here, and then going into a purple towards the end. Cool. So I like how that's looking. One last thing I want to show you in the gradient editor, or two last things actually, is under mode, you can come down to fixed, and this makes it so it's like limits it to these colors. And essentially the amount that they take up of this area is the percentage chance that you'll spawn one. So you can see there aren't any red ones. If I make this go out a little further, there's like a small chance for red ones. I prefer blend just because it gives us some more variety, but you can select fixed if you wanted to set all of the colors individually. So I'll make it back to blend. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is it's easy to add an extra tag and sort of be confused about it. And I had a hard time for a while knowing like how to get rid of these because there's no delete button or anything. What you do is you just literally drag it off of here and then it gets rid of it. So that's just a little tip for you. Cool, so we can close the gradient editor. You can save it if you want. I have one saved from previously, but you don't need to. And then yeah, this is pretty much what we want. Now the last thing to do is to remove our debug emission. So just minus there. And now nothing's happening. We want to hook this up to our button. We can do this without any code. If you go into like button, you can just click on it here, come down to this button, add an event, and then drag the particle system in here. Where it says no function, we're going to find the particle system emit function, and then set this int to 15. And essentially, whenever we press the button, it's going to call particle system.emit, passing in the number 15. So now if we play it, we should be able to see that when we click on it, particles come out. And we can use my little time slider here and see it happening in slow motion, or even click it a bunch of times and see a ton of particles come out. I think that looks pretty trippy. Whoa, yeah. But there you go. That is the Twitter like button. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can test out for yourself how much it's like the Twitter like button by going over to our Twitter page. It's at Pepscore Games, and you can hit like button on some of our posts maybe, and then see how it compares. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.